send me on a flight to Rome. Right to the bar fast as you can. No sleeping with me, I'm not a one-night stand. Hurry up in the club, clap your hands. I'm off limits like an accident. Don't go falling in love, sweetheart. I just came to dance, not take it off. All the girls wanna know who I am. I'm off limits like a master plan. Serving up vision of love, I swear. I'm off limits like your worst nightmare. I don't wanna do no happy dance. Keep a lot of money in my waistband. Always trying to take me out of here, but I'm off limits, so pay my fare. Pay my fare. I'm off limits, you can pay my fare.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I want to say happy birthday to myself. The birthday edition is now. Welcome back. Like I told y'all in the last video, I'm trying very hard not to title these episodes, but I cannot help it. This would be episode 4. And I had a long week. So I could have very easily laid in bed and said I'm not going to do anything today, but just because it's my birthday and it's Saturday does not mean mama don't have to work. Okay, so let's get back to it, you guys. Today's topic of discussion, I just want it to be kind of free flowing. I'm 34 today. I'm imparting my wisdom. I'm featuring a very beautiful bright stain, and I'm just going to attack this year and this day with vibrant energy. So what I wanted us to actually get into this time around, believe it or not, contract law. So I am not a lawyer. I do not have formal education whatsoever above a high school diploma, and we don't shame that over here. We still welcome all of the knowledge and the experience and the wisdom. But I've begun to kind of educate myself on contract law, especially as it pertains to entertainment law. It ain't no small feat. It ain't no small feat. But I'm learning so many things that are actually really empowering me in my daily life. And as an entrepreneur, I would recommend everyone who's anyone, if you have a social media page, if you delve into intellectual property in any way, I definitely implore you to learn about copyright infringement and also contract law. So one of the topics that I wanted to go over today was NDAs. I think that NDAs have been given a bad rep because of certain parties and companies that use them in kind of a manipulative way, but NDAs are my favorite thing about contract law. The fact that you can specify when working with someone what your boundaries are and they can share in return what their boundaries are, I think that's a beautiful thing. What I'm learning about contract law right now that I really wanted to share with you guys, if someone's presenting you with an NDA, read it. If someone's presenting you with a contract of any kind, please read it. Read it in full. Have a lawyer. If you don't have a lawyer representing you, if you can't afford one right now, do your very best to try to get a free consultation with someone who can at least break down the bones of the contract to you, because when you sign that dotted line, you are in agreement. It's legally binding. You have to do what it says. If you step outside of the parameters, there are very, very extensive consequences that can affect you and your business for the rest of its natural life. So the thing about NDAs that I think I enjoy the most, because when I was starting out, I wasn't signing contracts. I didn't have contracts. If I went into partnership with someone for a music video, we shook hands, I gave him my money, and then we met up and did business the next day. And surprise, surprise, it didn't work out. I would get a lot of people who wouldn't deliver on anything they said they were going to do. And when I say anything, I mean, my experience being an entrepreneur and doing music videos is this. I typically will already have created the vision for the song that I'm doing the music video for, because again, I record my own material, I write it and engineer it by myself. So it's a very one-on-one process, me by myself alone, formulating the concept from start to finish. So when I bring in a videographer, it's usually just for them to hold the camera. Sometimes I'll have videographers that I have worked with that are phenomenal. They have a great eye. They can lend some direction. But for the most part, I've worked in areas where I had to scout the location. Maybe I had to rent the location. I didn't work with a lot of videographers who had their own locations to shoot from. So we were either doing what's called a run and gun video shoot, which means you're outside in the elements, doing the best you can with what you got. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially someone like me. All I need is a moment to shine. All I need is to give you the fashions and give you the music, and you can take the rest and you can go, you know? But at the end of the day, if you're paying a certain amount, if you're paying over a certain amount, I would say if it's a quality videographer with amazing quality, you're probably paying between $500 and $700 for a shoot. If you only have one outfit, maybe you're only maybe changing into a second outfit, and you're doing a run and gun video shoot, meaning there's no location that's otherwise established. But I've had to scout locations. I've had to pay to rent locations. All that stuff comes out of my pocket too. And I'm a negotiator. You have to be good at negotiating with people, because some of them have a flat rate that they'll charge anyone no matter what. Some of them will adjust the rate based on whether or not you guys are friends, if they know you intimately, or if they have a recommendation from someone for you. Those are things you have to consider when you're working with people you don't know. But I've had some really bad experiences where people will tell me, hey, this is the flat price. I pay the price. I make the mistake of paying the price in full before I get my product. And either they take months to get the video back to me, or they don't get the video back to me at all. And what I will say is, you know, to try to counter that, I actually went into learning how to edit my own videos. So if I have you shoot the video, fine, just send me the raw material. I'll edit the video to my liking. You know, I've become the director, the creative director, and the stylist, and I have all the hats on, right? Eventually, my goal is to actually create a team of people that I can trust, who can step in and do these things for me, because I don't want to have to carry the torch all alone forever. It may sound like I'm someone who's actually very narcissistic and I just enjoy taking all the credit and doing it all by myself. I don't. That's a very stressful day, to wake up, to decide what your vision is going to be, right? And for me, when I put a music video together, honey, it don't take me but one day. I wake up that day, I check my funds, I check the funds in the business account. I say, okay, we can afford this. This is our budget. I set a budget. And then according to how I want to look, if I'm only buying 1 or 2 outfits, I'm very good at catering to my own fashion sense. So I'm not spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars typically on a visual, on my appearance, on my image, but I do my thing with that. And then I have the location, I have to contact the videographer, they show up. I have to be the one to manage how my hair looks, if one hair is out of place, if I got naps hanging out when I don't want no naps hanging out. That stuff goes unnoticed because you don't say it, you know? You don't tell people, hey, here's my music video and this is all the work I did to put it together. They just watch it for 3 to 4 minutes and then they go on about their business, if they even give it that much time. So it is a thankless job, you know, but my biggest hope in what you take from this video today is to educate yourself on what it is that you want to do and what it is that you want your vision to look like in the end. Because the people that you contract to come in and assist you in building that vision, they can jeopardize it. So in comes the NDA, right? You'll have a service contract typically which says, hey, my company, Moneytown Records, is interested in creating this project with this contractor and their LLC, and these are the stipulations that I'm gonna need you to follow. I'm gonna need my video back within 1 to 2 weeks. If you don't get it back to me within 1 to 2 weeks, contract is null and void. And you know, whatever you wanna say, this is just me giving like a sample of like what I think most people say in their contracts, but of course you can cater it to who you're working with too. I just love that you can be protected by the law as you dive into your creative freedom. So that's what I'm imploring you to do today. Do all of your homework. When you're working with someone, definitely check them out. Unfortunately, not a lot of people have a page with reviews, right? So if you're scouting for talent, you're looking for a videographer, you're looking for a contractor, try to do it through other people that you're familiar with who can give this person a a good recommendation. I know that I just kind of spoke against that because sometimes I will reach out to people that I've never met ever in my life. And just because I know I have a solid work ethic, I'm relying on them to, you know, also be pretty good, even though there's not a common thread between us or a common denominator, someone who knows us both. So it's not rare, but typically that's when you run into issues. That's typically when I run into issues. Just hearing someone's name and being like, okay, yeah, let me look them up. Let me send them a message. Let me send them this money. Let's also talk about that. Do not make the mistake that I made in sending someone the full amount. In your contracts, you can stipulate, okay, I'm going to pay you half up front, or I'm going to pay you a deposit, which may be a small portion of the balance, the ending total. But ultimately, my advice to you, if anyone is saying I'm going to need payment in full up front, that's a red flag. I think that everyone is innocent until proven guilty, for sure. But if you know, like I know, that doing business, things happen. Sometimes it's just nature. Sometimes there's things that are outside of your control. If someone has a loss in the family, God forbid, if someone has a very drastic change in schedule, or they have something personal happening in their lives that all of a sudden stops them from completing or returning your product to you, maybe you allow that. I don't. I'm sorry. I think communication is really important, and your business and your reputation supersedes you. So if I'm coming to you for a product, it's not because I need you, it's because I want you. So if I want to work with you and I'm going out of my way and I'm putting myself and my brand out there, I need you to respect that, and I need you to do what you promised you were going to do. So contracts to me are the only way to require people to actually deliver something they promised you, because there are a lot of people who are scammers. They do go around making empty promises to collect a couple of dollars, and then they ghost you, or they just never had any intentions on working on your project at all. And as a woman in this industry, I have often dealt with men who do not want to take me seriously because they're either threatened by me and my business brain, or for whatever reason, maybe they just don't take me seriously. But I'm someone you must take seriously. Okay. And that brings us to lawsuits. When someone breaches your contract or they breach your NDA, if you are absolutely gung-ho, you sure can take them to court. Just be aware that there are fees that comes along with. So if you're dedicated to suing someone, it's not just because you think you're going to get your money back. You need to also be prepared to expend. You're going to have to invest in suing that person. So I have not, thank God, where's the wood I can knock on? I've never had to sue someone for music issues in our business and contract, thankfully. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I think that unfortunately, like I said, there are some people out here with just bad intentions, and they're looking to make dollars and they're looking to steal from folks. I try to just stay away from that energy so that I don't end up in court with someone where I have to get the law involved. I just don't want that. I don't want that at all. Breaching NDAs, I don't recommend it. I'm learning about something right now that's actually pretty cool, where if someone breaches your NDA, let's say you were in a recording studio. A lot of people don't know this about recording your music in a recording studio, but you should always bring a data file or some kind of file to protect your documents on. So if I have sound bites that I don't want this person to save to their computer, they need to be saving it to my data file. And I can specify that in the contract. I can set all that up before we even come in to record, right? And this is if I were going to record in someone else's studio, which, oh no. I'm still rebuilding my faith. But back to my example, let's say this person did not save my files to my data file, or they did, but they also stole them and sent them off to someone else to hear. A lot of people, when they record a session with you, if they're really excited about the session, I've had this happen so much, they'll play the music that you guys recorded for someone else in your absence. For me, I think that is a breach of my confidentiality. So if you and I are working one-on-one, I don't expect you to shop my music to other people, because that exposes my music to be stolen, to be leaked. That's how a lot of leaks do happen, honestly. So if you have an agreement with someone where you don't want any leaks, you don't want your music being shared, it's part of your confidentiality agreement, and they do it anyway, honey, if they breach that contract and you've stipulated in the contract that if you breach it, basically, I can take from you whatever I want to take. There's no limit. It's called indemnification. So if you breach my agreement, you leak my music, let's say TMZ gets my music, TMZ puts my music out, and it's all over the world, but I am not receiving any of the residual for it because I didn't get a chance to license it because of your breach. Guess what? That exposes me in a way that there's no telling what could happen from now to the end of time with the future of this project. So for that breach, if I want to come for you and I want you to pay me for pain and suffering, maybe I can be awarded that. Maybe let's say I take your house. Maybe let's say I take your car. Maybe let's say I take whatever you get from here on out in your business name. I mean, that's just another way that you're protected by the law from people who don't follow agreements. So not only is it important for you to learn and educate yourself on what contracts you're putting your signature on, but it's also really important for you to only sign agreements you can uphold. Because if you breach it, there's a myriad of things that could happen that could affect your success from here on out. And then one of the last things I wanted to talk about was advances. So I'm from the MTV days, the VH1 days. For those of you who know, I'm always gonna shout out being a 90s baby in every episode, okay? I'm from that time, that era when we were learning about rappers getting signed, getting deals, freaking crazy deals. They were getting so much money thrown at them. It was hard to see. They couldn't even see. They just were getting gifted cars. They were getting advances, which if you don't know, an advance is an amount of money that's given to you before you start your contract with whatever major label you're signing on to. So if they're offering you an advance, exciting, right? They like you a lot and they just want to throw money at you. You know, I'm someone who, if you throwing money at me, I agree you should be throwing money at me. I think throwing money at me sounds about right. But at the end of the day, you guys have to remember there's no such thing as free money, especially in the music industry. There's no such thing as being given something just because you feel you deserve it. You have to earn everything that you receive. So if anyone is offering you an advance, read your contract, read what the stipulations are on you receiving that advance, but I can almost guarantee you're going to pay that money back with interest. It's not gonna be free, a handout. You're gonna have to probably pay back more than what you were offered initially. It does depend on the person, on the situation, on the label. These are not blanket statements. I don't know who you're working with. I'm not trying to poison your brain, but just take that rule of thumb, take that advice with you everywhere you go. Nothing in this world is free. If something is being given to you or offered to you, it's probably because you have to work extra hard to pay it back, and you may have to give back more than you were initially given. For me, don't give me the advance. I don't want to work with a label, so I'm not going to even put myself in this example. But what I do know is be very careful with the decisions you make when you're getting in bed, figuratively speaking, when you're getting in bed with these companies, these record labels. I think in my own label, I probably will not offer advances. I don't believe in making promises that you can't keep. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't believe in making promises that you can't keep. I don't believe in betting on black. I don't believe in betting. I don't believe in gambling. I want what's in front of me, and I want that to just be straight up. I don't want to have to chase you down when you don't make good on the investment. Let's just stick to paying the bills to keep the lights on and reinvesting in what's going on today, right now. That's the type of businesswoman I am. So this was a lot of fun, this birthday edition. Sorry if it was kind of all over the place. I was just really excited to talk I was just really excited to talk facts and figures as in terms of contract law. So I did cut, I know it probably just looks like a jump cut to you guys, but I had a birthday call come through, and I'm sure the birthday calls will keep rolling. So let me wrap this up before we get interrupted again with our cheers, our closing. I just want to say thank you everyone, anywhere and everywhere, all over the globe, wishing me a happy birthday. It should be a national holiday, mama, and one day it will be. Thank you so much. Cheers to that. We are toasting with water. I am not necessarily doing dry January, but in a way I am, because I'm not drinking this month. So it is against my will, but that's another story for another channel, for another series on another day. Thank you for watching. Be smart about your investments. Be smart about your brand. Protect your brand fiercely, because that is sometimes the only thing that saves you from the unknown. Be good, be blessed. Ashe.
He wanna take me home. Can't afford to send me on a flight to Rome. Right to the bar fast as you can. No sleeping with me, I'm not a one-night stand.